Welcome to another episode of Inspirational Entrepreneurial Stories. Today I have another special guest. He's a young entrepreneur who has grown in the business of SEO, digital marketing. But he has experienced all the challenges that you've experienced yourself. Probably the burnout, being a solopreneur, trying to do everything himself, not having anyone to guide him or give him any clear focus, and then eventually finding that he could actually have a mentor or join a mastermind, and that's one of the reasons why he has grown exponentially even during a pandemic. His name is Johnny Chen. Johnny, welcome to the show.
Thank you for having me, Desmond.
Now, Johnny, your story is quite interesting. You and I didn't actually connect through my mentor. It was only after you had kind of connected with us that I got to know more about your journey and your story. But I purposely want to have you on the show because I want you to share with the viewers. There are entrepreneurs out there all the time that think that what they are doing is unique. We hear this all the time. You hear people say, "Oh, but Desmond, you just don't know. My business is special. My business is unique." And the truth is really that there are certain things, whether it's a plumber, a doctor, a construction worker, a digital marketer, someone making makeup, someone having a food business, there are certain patterns that are always the same that happen for all of us. And we all go through this very similar pains. And I think you've got a very interesting story. So I wanted to bring you on the show so that you can share your journey, your inspirational story, and some of the challenges you've been through and how you overcame that to now the success that you're experiencing and the rapid growth that you're going through. So Johnny, maybe you can start off by telling everyone, give them a bit of a background, where were you born, just a bit of your childhood. And then after that, how you got into the work world. Did you start at a company? Did you start your own business right away? Tell us a bit about that story first.
I was born in Taiwan, Taipei, and at that time, my parents actually separated. So my dad left to come to the USA to get sponsorship, get work really hard, and sweat every day in the factory. So just so that one day he could bring me from there to here where we are now. That requires a lot of courage. So just me having great examples to follow after. You know what they say, there's a lot of gurus out there telling you, hey, you gotta have courage, you gotta be brave, but it's listening and seeing it through your childhood, it's a completely different thing. So that actually helped me a lot. Seeing my dad being such a brave man lets me know that if he could do that, I could do anything because, hey, everything's already here. I don't have to do anything across the country to get anything accomplished. So, and obviously, with good parenting, I was put through college. I got to study hard, all that stuff. I had A's in high school, but when I got to college, I just completely let all that drop. I partied all weekend, partied all week. But to me, I was actually learning how people actually work. When they're in the morning, how they are at lunch, how they are in the afternoon, how they are when they're sober, how they are when they're having a little fun. So deep down inside, I always kind of knew that there's no formula, but there's actually many pieces of small puzzles you have to get yourself. So that is the journey that everyone needs to go through. Take little bits and pieces of yourself and what you see, what you learn, make that your own.
What was, so college, you partied a lot. I think we all partied a lot. At least if you hear my stories, right? You have to. Now, did you start off at a corporate job? Did you, after graduating, tell us a bit more about that. Did you enter the work world working at a company? Did you have part-time jobs? Or did you immediately embark on this whole entrepreneur journey that you're on right now?
Oh, I actually didn't start my entrepreneurial journey until literally 5 years ago. Let's say right now I'm 39 years old, right? And I actually didn't start until I was 35, 34. That means there was literally from graduation to 10 years later, I was always literally from job to job to job. My first two jobs, corporate jobs in big city of Houston, I was fired, just because with my personality, I don't take directions well unless I know it has much bigger impact like big impact. If I was to follow the little rules, I'm kind of just like, I don't feel like it. But when you're in a corporate structure, when you work for somebody else, even if they get a hint of you don't feel like doing anything, and you are more of a lone wolf, you have your own opinions, you'll pretty much just get fired. So I got fired everywhere I go, and all I
Johnny, you can just say it. You were the rebel. You rocked the boat. I think most of us entrepreneurs we rock the boat. we don't want to be chained like a lion or in a cage or something like that, right? So you when they told you to jump left, you jumped right.
Yeah. Well, I don't blame them for firing me because I didn't know how to deal with people either. So it's a learning process. So I was just waiting tables. I was a waiter, for 5 years at a sushi restaurant. And, my parents were probably looking at me as, oh, what are you doing? And what can I say? I don't know what I'm doing. I'm trying to do something. And then one day my dad goes, just come work at my company. My dad had built a large plastic bags company, distributing to Whataburger, Popeye's Fried Chicken, huge franchises. And he goes, you could be a manager. So at that point, I was learning my first how to manage people, how to talk to people. And the funny thing is, a lot of people that now young kids, they come ask me, what's a good place to start learning how to deal with people? And I tell them, go be a waiter. You see 50 people a day, they're all very diverse, they all have strong opinions because you're hungry or drunk. You learn how to deal with people very well when you're working at a restaurant. So yeah.
Wow, so that is sage advice. It's funny because I used to come from the food industry as well too, and you're absolutely right. You just made me realize that may have been one of the areas I first learned to develop people skills. How important would you say, Johnny, it is to develop people skills and to be an entrepreneur? How has that played a part in your success to where you are today?
It is actually, people skills, I believe, is almost 90% of the business. Because look at it this way, all products are pretty much duplicable, right? On a surface level, or any physical product. Even someone invents a time machine, I could just buy one and hire 10 engineers and reverse engineer within 6 months. So even someone invents a time machine, it's gonna get copied. So people skills, when it comes to talking to your team, talking to your assistants, talking to your virtual assistants, talking to anybody, they work for you because they like you. And then there's work. There's the job, there's the work, and then they like working the job. They enjoy the work because it's a good environment. They're happy. So people skills, 90%. Other technicals, products, formulas, algorithms, you can learn it. Very easy.
Okay, so then now tell us what happened. You were doing the waiting job. When did you jump into the whole entrepreneurial seizure? When did that happen?
Oh yeah, I was dumped by my 4-year-old girlfriend. I mean, 4-year long-term girlfriend, and then. Yeah,
not a 4-year-old girlfriend.
Yeah, not your old.
A girlfriend of 4 years.
Yeah. She dumped me, and then obviously, I was unaware of what was going on. Basically, now that I think back, I know it was because I was not driven, and I was not successful. And hey, you could be a good guy, you could be a nice guy, but not just women, even your teammates or your coach, your students, they want someone that's successful, driven, and have good soft personal skills. So once I get dumped, I literally Googled how to be successful, how to make money, how to do this, how to do that. And in the awesome world of targeting and marketing, I was retargeted by a bunch of ads. And now that I noticed, back then, I didn't know it was copywriting, obviously, what made me watch the video. So I watched those videos and I just started buying courses. Start out with the cheap ones, $79, $67. So I bought all the courses I can find, when I was working at the factory, I was literally only bringing home $2,500 after tax, you know, and buying courses here and there, maybe I would spend almost all of it every month. Okay, some courses were short, some courses were long, but I just absorb it all. I take what I can. The ones I don't like, you know, just go ahead and watch them, get through it, all right, and just take the best out of it. Until one day, further down the marketing funnel, you know, obviously the ones that watched this and bought this, now they're going to target them the big ticket. So I was actually on a 4-hour webinar, and it was the biggest course I've ever bought. And it was basically, I didn't even know that it was search engine optimization, SEO on Google. I didn't know it was anything like that. But I was pitched and I bought the course. It was $10,000 at that time to me when I was making, you know, less than $3,000 a month. So I had to make payments on it for $800 a month. And during that time, I went through the course that made me who I am today. Obviously, you know, you still got to implement at your own style, but that was the 10% technical part, okay, that we talked about earlier. I learned that, I started doing it, and my first customer, it was through me manually messaging out everybody on LinkedIn, you know, begging for my first $900 a month, literally just begging. So yeah, and once that happens, you know, I would start making a little bit of money, and then it would just stop right there because I'm just me. I didn't know what I was doing. I winged it. It worked. I wouldn't say I got lucky because you need both. You need the drive, you need actually doing it, and get lucky. You need it all.
Interesting. So, you know, you tell us a bit about that. You made some money, and I like what you said about the, you know, winging it, but also a little bit of you have to implement. I think the key message here, anyone who's ever watched any of the other videos in the series, by the way, you can click the I button here. You can check out some of the other interviews that we've done of other inspirational stories. Almost everyone is saying the same thing. You'll notice a pattern here that it's about being an implementer. But the pattern I'm also seeing here is that you were trying to do it by yourself. So how did you then, you were a junior SEO expert at that time, a total freelancer. What was the next stage? What was the next phase of your business? When did you start to realize, hey, wait a minute, I need to start growing a team? Or how did you get more consistent? What about your prices? Were you know, did you feel your prices were high enough or good enough or too low? Tell us about the mental, you know, all the garbage that goes through our heads during that time as an entrepreneur.
Oh yeah, there's definitely a lot of monkey chatter. I call it monkey chatter because these invisible voices, they're just behind you. You don't know where they come from, and you know it's things you're saying to yourself. So at that point, I was working a lot, and I still had to keep up with the coaching and Google algorithm changes, and it's everything, you know, it's everything that you can imagine. Tired all the time, trying to wake up early, but you wake up late because you work late. It's the never-ending cycle. Okay, so at that point, I know that cannot continue. So I start seeking for help. Okay, those who were doing it better than me, those who are smarter than me. So and my prices, they were okay. You know, they were not that good. They're under $1,000 a customer, and I like to literally add a zero behind it. You know, the cliche of adding a zero behind whatever you charge right now, to me back then, it sounds impossible because who would pay for that? But then again, you never know. It's not just you throwing a number out there, it's you actually presenting the whole package, and then everything changes.
Understood. Wow. Okay. And then, you know, obviously you and I connected because of Dan Locke, you know, a mentor of mine, you know, as a multimillionaire. He runs a mastermind, a private members exclusive group called the Dragon 100. You're a Dragon 100 member as well now. You would not have been accepted to Dragon 100 at the stage that you've just finished describing. There had to be one more stage, one more step. in between there? Because to be in Dragon has some very high, strict, qualifications, and you go through a very stringent process, of us analyzing your financials, your profit margins, and looking at your funnels. Is it a scalable business? Is it your marketing and so forth? So if anyone's interested in finding out more about that, we'll put some details below in the description, but that's not the purpose here. We want to find out about Johnny's journey here. So Johnny, tell us about that other next step. When did you start to realize, was it that you felt, okay, I'm kind of stuck at this glass ceiling here and I want to get to the next level? What do I need to do? Tell everyone, what was that journey? Or even imagine if you're speaking to a younger version of Johnny right now, what would you get that Johnny to focus on to speed up the process?
Oh yeah, definitely. So at that time, I have some soft people skills. I know kind of how to talk to people with some technical skills. But I had no idea how sales management starts. Once you make a little bit of money, and then there's that gap before you start to say being accepted into the Dragon 100. You kind of know what you're missing, but you kind of don't. You kind of have an idea that you're missing some management skills, some software skills, not management as in me managing other people, but also leads management, pipeline, okay? And I would take YouTube. YouTube is my friend. I would just YouTube everything. I would search and YouTube, watch everything. And it's kind of like looking for a needle in a haystack. It's hard to find, but if you literally spend 365 days, 4 hours a day looking for that, you're gonna find the needle. Because what if there's 10,000 haystacks, haze, and I just take one out? What's my chance of finding it? 1 out of 10,000. So I'm gonna find it. That just takes way too long. It's almost, it was a long time. So at that point, I realized that, hey, I'm spending too much time and energy. It's not effective. There's a lot of loss. What if I get someone that can actually help me, that cares, that knows what he's doing, and then he could just point me the way.
Okay. And so are you saying that you kind of realized you needed a mentor? So no one mentioned that to you. It wasn't like you read a book. It wasn't like you watched a YouTube video and someone said, hey, you need a mentor. You just kind of came to the realization, you didn't maybe know the word mentor at the time, but let's just define it. What you were needing, the need was that you realized you needed a mentor. Is that correct?
Yes. I realized I needed a mentor, a coach, somebody that's been through it, that could help me along. Okay, maybe not handhold exactly, because we also need more independence. And at that time I needed help big time.
Okay, so then what did you do next? How do you just walk around? Like you go to a restaurant, you order from a restaurant menu item. How do you find a mentor? What did you do to discover your mentors?
So now, me also being in the marketing business, I can pretty much I can spot dead on what is a good ad, what's the message, how everything is. And most people used to think that they hate ads, but the good ads, the message will actually help you if you listen to it. Yeah, it's true. There's actually a lot of noise out there, but once you've seen enough ads, you know that what's the noise and what's a good message within 3 seconds. So I started seeing Dan's ads, okay, through his genius of marketing. I call it genius not because I'm in the group and I like to be associated with geniuses, which I am. I think the way Dan does things is unique, it works, and it's not too pushy. And I actually don't mind seeing 10 ads a day. And that's hard to say, but I'm a marketer like myself, because I make the ads also.
Right. And Johnny, maybe share with the viewers as well too. Did you start to realize that you needed to add more team members? Talk a bit about that, the scaling part. Where were you at in terms of revenue, and what was the kind of the initial first big milestone you're trying to get to, and what was preventing you from getting to that first big milestone?
I was making by myself 14,000, 15,000 a month, okay, and that's profit. And then I got scared because once I started making a little bit of money, you know, I got more responsibilities, such as a family. I got to take care of everybody else, and I realized that even if I double this, it's still not going to be enough. Even if I double what I was making, and I take care of everybody else, you know.
So let's just pause there for a second, Johnny, because you know you're just throwing 15,000 a month, you know, and that's profit. That's like, you know, net after taxes and after expenses. You know, you're just throwing it out there. There's some people watching this and they would just love to get to even 15,000. They'd be like, oh wow, I thought I made it. But as we know, in current North America right now, I mean, you know, 15,000 really is not a lot. You're in the middle class. You're kind of like just above poverty after taxes, after everything else. And if you got a family, you know, both you and I, you know, we got kids and family and stuff like that, that disappears really fast. So let's put a number to it. Annual revenue, you know, you're probably bringing home about 200,000 a year. And that was drying up, that was disappearing really fast. So what was the realization? What was the number you needed to get to?
My first step, I wanted to get to at least $400 a year. Yes. Just so that I can start having savings for safety and maybe a bigger house for the wife, which she wants today. You know, got to take care of the family, got to take care of the wife, right?
Happy wife, happy life. Yes.
Of course. Yeah. And I started hiring employees. Okay. They didn't work out because I didn't know what I was doing, right? All the little pieces had to work. What I really was lacking was direction and clarity. Okay, I kind of know where I was going. It's kind of like I'm on the highway, I'm driving in the right direction, but I don't know which interstate exit to take to get to the fried chicken store. Okay, what if I had an exact pinpoint map on where that fried chicken store is? I know which exit to take. I know when to slow down. I know when to speed up. Okay, and yeah, that's what I was lacking. So I bought all of Dan's entry-level classes, you know, the $49 classes, which, by the way, I think they're worth thousands, each one of them. Okay, and I went through all of those. There was a lot of mindset classes, which what I was lacking also. Okay, a young guy like myself, you know, you have drive, but where are you driving to? You don't even have direction mentally, right? What if I had a bad thought or image? I call it a mental break. Okay, that's preventing me. For example, what if I used to have a thought of I feel bad for charging customers a lot higher than I used to. But then again, what if I just deliver more results and still charge higher? Everybody's happy. I had a mental break, a thought like that. So that was preventing me from going as fast as I can. So that's what's good about Dan's entry-level classes, that he goes over the mindset, okay? And that $149 class, on internet course I bought along from Dan, it made me recurring additional $3,500 within 7 days. And it was not something big I had to do. All I had to do was, so now that Dan's mindset, some of it is in me, right? I'll pick up my phone call one of my current customers, and I will tell them, hey, we need this because this is what's going on, and I don't want you to be missing out on this when you get to your second store. What do you think? Tell me how you think. And you start listening. And then, there you go, $49 class, you know, turns into $3,500 additional per day. I mean, per
recurring revenue. Yeah, that $49 investment, the ROI on that $49 investment, simply because one-time investment, $49, Dan shifted your mindset. It allowed you to communicate better to your customers. You have a better, you value yourself more. You're able to have the confidence to speak to a customer, and that resulted in an additional $3,000 plus per month in recurring revenue. Wow, you know, those out there with good calculators, figure out the ROI on that. What percentage is that? That's a massive ROI. So that's just one example. Did you have other examples as well that happened?
Yeah. So building on so that was the first milestone, which is, you know, absorbing Dan's materials within a week. It probably happened within 6.5 days. I started going to high income copywriting, which is awesome. Now I see the matrix, just like the movie Matrix. I see the codes. I can analyze. I can break down each word, what they really mean. And then I take on the high HTC high ticket closer class. So the amazing thing about Dan's teaching when it comes to especially the high ticket closer, I now use it on a personal basis in addition to business. People, my old friends and new friends, are starting to text me more to hang out. Obviously pretty busy, can't hang out with everybody, and you shouldn't too. That's on a personal level. It just works everywhere. Okay, Dan's teaching is both mindset and technical and sales management, and it's pretty broad, and broad not as in general, but as in wide array of very clear, crystal teachings.
Very practical things you can use in daily life, right? Which is it's got depth and it's wide, but it's got depth which you can use in a variety of different situations in life. And so, Johnny, let's talk a bit about you went through the very rigorous process. You were accepted into the Dan's very exclusive private mastermind, the Dragon 100. And as an entrepreneur, thank you for sharing your journey up till now. I think a lot of the viewers can resonate with that part there. But let's share with them, maybe pull back the curtains. The Dragon 100 is a very secretive, exclusive. We like our privacy in the Dragon 100, but I give you permission as well too. You can share a little bit about what's the experience been like inside Dragon 100. Is it only Dan that you're communicating with, or do you get to connect with other, multimillionaires, other, even some fractional billionaires in there? What's been your experience like inside Dragon 100, and what would you say is if you're communicating to a younger Johnny outside of Dragon, how would you sum it up into 2 or 3 massive value points that you get, that you feel you've got your massive value out of being a Dragon member?
I actually have 3 words for a young Johnny. Do it sooner, because you can't do it faster. It's impossible. You're already going as fast as you can. You can't do it any faster. So do it sooner. That's my advice to him.
What was it like when you joined? When you first came in, were you overwhelmed? Did you know what to do? Did you know what to focus on?
Oh yeah, I was definitely overwhelmed because of all the good new things you can learn. But Dan, even with that many things you get to have, such as learning materials, which you want anyway, that's why you're overwhelmed, because you want to learn all of it. At first, when I joined, Dan, he would help go through my business together. He would break it down to me step by step. He would basically give me advice on what's the best way to do it at the highest return, highest revenue, with delivering really good results where customers will love you way more, because he's had experience. Okay, he didn't just start his coaching mentoring business say 5 years ago. He's been doing this. Dan's a young guy, but he's literally I think his knowledge and experience from everybody I've learned from, he has over 30 years of experience in today's modern time. And for me to be able to get that and shrink it down, and when I message him, he gets back to me, that alone is like, wow.
How often does that happen? Does he do it regularly? Do you have to wait, is there a waiting list, or how often do you communicate with Dan, and what's that like?
If I need to, on a daily basis or multiple times a day, obviously, everyone's busy. He's not gonna be able to get back to you within 10 seconds, right? But last night, I messaged him about a question that I had at 10 p.m. my time. He got back to me in 2 hours at midnight. So, that's very different. So it's like he really does care. He does not turn off his phone when it's off hours, and he just goes, "Oh, it's wake up time. Let me turn on everything and see what's going on." He doesn't do that. He really cares. So it's been awesome.
Wow. Well, Johnny, we're getting towards the end here, and I want to make sure that the viewers, we're going to wrap up some very important things, so don't drop off yet. Pay attention here. Johnny, you're a specialist in digital marketing, but primarily in SEO, okay? And I know there's a lot of SEO guys out there, and everyone's touting stuff, but obviously you're in the Dragon 100. You're something pretty special. In fact, I've got other business partners as well too who also specialize in SEO, but I do know that you're pretty damn good. So if someone is interested, they've heard about SEO, why do they need it? They're curious, they have no idea how much it costs or what's the benefits of SEO. What would you say to that? And if someone was curious to even just connect with you, would you do us a favor as a guest of this show? Would you be kind enough to maybe even offer them, let's say, a complimentary consultation and just point them in the right direction, even if they never work with you? Can you do us a favor and just pay it forward, do something of value for the community? Or maybe before you even wrap up today, give one tip that someone could do and implement just from watching this video, some simple SEO basics that they could actually see some results. So, I want them to find out how they can get in touch with you, why SEO is important, and if they're gonna get in touch with you, how do they get in touch with you, or what tip and something that they can do from just watching this video?
Good. The best way to get in touch with me is I want you to use Google and Google my name, Johnny Chen, JohnnyChen.
That's a tough one to, Johnny and Chen is a tough thing to rank for because there's so many Johnnies and Chens out there. Yeah.
There's one guy on top of me in result. His name is Johnny Chen. He's the national poker player. He's extremely famous. He's been on #1 page one for 20 years. I can't overtake him. So
Not yet.
I'll take second right now. That's the best way to find me. You'll be able to see me for 3-4 pages. You won't miss me.
And why would people be, if I'm a business owner, I'm an entrepreneur, is SEO something I need to do now and spend money and invest time in? Or is it something I should put off till later, maybe a year later?
There's two ways. Okay, the best SEO you should look for your business is the one that actually simulates organic growth at a faster time. Okay, if you don't do SEO and then you work with your vendors, right? Let's just say I'm a fried chicken store. Okay, one of my vendor is Plastic Bags. Okay, Plastic Bags website, their business has a blog. Okay, they write a blog about, hey, we supply great bags to fried chicken store, and you get a link going to your fried chicken store's website. That's organic SEO. That's transfer of power, transfer of communication, and transfer of popularity in Google's eyes. And real quick, this is how you get ranked in Google's eyes. Imagine Google is the high school principal. He's watching over all the children, and all the children are actually your websites. Okay, for you to rank higher in Google's eye, for your website to rank higher in Google's eyes, okay, it has to be popular. So what is popular in Google's eyes? Popularity in Google's eye is your interaction with other kids. Okay, what other kids are saying about you, right? There's a lot more than that, but those are the two biggest things. What that means is what other websites are saying about you. Okay, how you guys are communicating, how you guys are linking back and forth, and unique different places. So once you're popular, you get high. And a good SEO needs to be able to explain that to you, exactly just what I did, but also be able to show you how it works on screen by digging into the back end of your website without the password to your website. And there's certain ways to do it. So SEO is, in this industry, is very overpromised and under-delivered. The best way to qualify an SEO for everybody, including you guys, to qualify myself, if you're interested, the first sentence you should ask is, show me your current customers' results. Send me that file. I'll take a look at it. Then we'll talk. Okay.
I love it. I love that.
See the results first. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's like
you eat your own cooking.
Pass it on.
That's right.
Now here's a flip side to young digital marketers out there, your entrepreneurs. If you're green, if you're new, if you don't have results to show, it's okay. You can still get testimonials on how you deal with people who are your colleagues. You can still share testimonials on LinkedIn based on how you how you proceed as a person in the business world. Okay. And if you don't have any results to show, just say, hey, I'm new, but other people say I'm a good person. I'm willing to work very hard for you, and I won't stop until I do. Obviously, you have to charge less. It's okay. Just get started.
I love it, Johnny. That's really inspirational advice, not only for someone who's a business owner who's trying to get started or is shopping the market right now for someone in SEO, but also for a digital marketer who's just getting started, who may or may not have the results to show for it like you now have. Johnny, very quickly, after being in Dragon, and then we're gonna wrap it up with this one here. Now, after being in Dragon, what would you say your growth has been just in being in the Dragon? And you've also been relatively new. You know, it's not that you've been in Dragon for a year or more. It's just been a couple of months. But already just being in Dragon, how much would you put a number to it, or give us some sort of a measure of how much you've grown? Have you saved in time, in maybe revenue, or a percentage of growth? How much would you say you've grown in the 2-3 months you've been in Dragon 100?
Wow. Okay. Just the clarity of knowing what to do and how to do it alone makes me being able to sleep. Once you're working really hard, you're an entrepreneur, sometimes you're still working in your sleep. But now I can actually sleep because of the clarity and knowing what to do. If I could put it into numbers, let's just say that the first month I joined, I was at this number. Now I've actually increased 250% with all my current customers, just because the way I talk to them is better. The way I pitch, I would not say pitch, I would advise them for both parties' benefit. The way I do that is different. Yeah, I am half a millionaire. That's a good thing, but to me, it's a bad thing because I want the extra zero, right? And that cannot be done without the marketplace valuing you, knowing you do good stuff and you care. Okay, and here's another thing with young entrepreneurs that I would actually say to you guys. Depending on your business, if you're a consultant, you're an advisor, you need to show your faces more, show that you care more. If your customers become a long-term customer, or 3 months, it's okay to talk to them, give them your cell phone number. They can text you. Be happy when your customer is texting you at off hours. You know why you should be happy with that? Because they can't live without you, and that's how you make money.
I love it. They can't live without you. And maybe even they can't live without your team as you build your team, right? So that way you can make it scalable, right? I love it, Johnny. You've been very inspirational. In fact, comment below if you found this video inspirational or the tips that Johnny gave to be helpful. If you've got any questions for Johnny, also comment below. What I'll do is I'll have Johnny monitor the video and also come back in and personally reply to you. His details will be in the description, so you can reach out to him, or you can reach out to me directly. I'll give you some instructions on how you can reach out to me on Instagram, DM, and I will put you in touch with Johnny if you need some help there. You can tell that he is a very genuine entrepreneur, like a big brother who has been ahead of you. And maybe he's willing, and this is something that we as entrepreneurs do. The good ones will always stick a hand out and pull you up. They're willing. That's how you know you're around a good group of individuals. I know that in the Dragon 100, all of us look out for each other. We reach out to each other. We pull each other up. We challenge each other. We're not immune to challenges. We go through our ups and downs as well, but we don't have to do it alone, and neither do you. So if you found this episode helpful, comment, give us a like, a thumbs up, smash the subscribe button. Check out Johnny's page as well too. Give him some positive comments and feedback. Give him a Google review. Help him out with a Google review. Send him a 5-star Google review, and we will see you in the next episode.